How we doing? Commander Shepard here. Gonna do a test on some new equipment that I just got. I just got my Enlightening Equipment Revolt Underquilt, which I have not set up yet before, so this will be my first time setting it up. Also taking out new pack, Gregory Optic 48. Different pack than which most you would see on most ultralighters, but I'll do a video on that one later on and go through my gear and everything. But for now, we're going to set up this hammock and I'll show you what we can do with this underquilt. So as you can see, I've got the ward bonnet, XLC, all hooked up with the gear sling, the Joey underneath. Set up, I have it set an extra notch lower on one side just so I can easily get the underquilt on. And still have access to these to where I'm going to hook my underquilt on too. Now the fun part, no, this is not the bag that this came in, because I could not compress the original bag down enough. The fun part about this is going to be putting it on, because like, as I said before, I have not put this on before, so I'm going to be learning just as you are. But that's going to be the fun part. So I got the Enlightening Equipment Revolt Underquilt on. One of the really cool things about the war bonnet is that since it has these wings here, it actually perfectly guides the underquilt as to where it's got to go. I purposely did the inside bright orange, the outside a granite kind of brown color, kind of blend in, but also I know which side's the inside, which side's the outside. Just a view on the inside. I know the lighting isn't great with the sun, but you can see right down on the inside, it's nice and comfy and cozy. I've already climbed in here. It already covers my legs and well over my head. So I'll grab this for a second. There we go. Now it is kind of taut, so I loosened it up a little bit so I could get in and out without stretching or breaking the rope. But as you can see, it comes up nice. Ooh, zip it a little bit here. You see the underquilt comes way up over where my head is. I can actually move it down just a little bit more. It comes down right to where my feet would be. I know I'm bad, I have my shoes on my hammock. But with a little adjustment of where it's positioned over my head, I think it'd be perfect. Now some people might say it's a little cramped in here. Kind of is a little bit, but I have a feeling if I loosen these up just a tad bit and then direction this down, I'll actually have plenty of room. I'm also going to try with putting in a piece of thermalate, which is a metallic kind of foamy material that can retain heat, and you put that in between, which will give me an extra layer of heat, so that way even if it's super freaking cold in the Sierras or up in Washington, I will still stay very warm. I actually put the piece of thermalate on the in between the two sheets. It's way more of a cocoon. Let it go. You can even see it's a little bit more bulbous, but that's my sleep system. That's what's going to get me through the Sierras and all of Oregon and Washington. I expect to cowboy camp quite a bit for the desert in the first 700 miles, but I'm about to do my next little setup for that and show you how I'm going to actually tent and measure it out so I can know how big a piece of Tyvek I need to take with me. So it's very obvious that in parts of the Sierras and definitely throughout the entire desert, I'm not going to really have trees to put up my hammock. I mean, it's nice and it's a glorious thing to have, but it's not something I'll always have. So in order to have a shelter when it rains in the desert or snowing heavily or heavy winds, I have actually created this. I'm now using my fly as a tent. Just using my trekking poles, 2 guidelines for stabilization. I found that only one is definitely not enough. But you can see with UGQ Products, there's your spotlight. Definitely makes an awesome fly. The fact that now I come through, I have tons of space. Z-Packs, eat your heart out. Just kidding. But this is like an awesome alternative, and I can actually put my Tyvek down in here. Have plenty of room for my gear, myself, and can keep out of the wind. You can tell that there's an air gap there. If I shorten it and don't have it as taut, and if I keep them together, I can keep it flat in the ground and prevent more wind and things like that from coming in, which is the whole intention behind this. But this way I do have a shelter to sleep on the ground in the event that I cannot get my hammock up. Commander Shepard, testing equipment, learning new things. We'll make it happen.